Hi guys, just thought we'd run through a preview for the Wednesday night meeting in Launceston, the 10th of October. 9 races. Just before we start, the general housekeeping stuff. Rails out 6 metres the entire. First couple of meetings it was out 9 the first week and then out 3 metres last week. Currently soft 5, penetrometer 4.56. Had a bit of rain yesterday. Today, whilst not overly warm, it is actually a very nice day in Launceston. So, sun shining through the clouds. No rain forecast, so you imagine it's definitely not going to deteriorate. My guess as to the track pattern, I'd imagine it plays quite fairly early. And if we just get constant sunshine this afternoon, I imagine it might play towards fence on speed later in the evening. Tends to be the case on good nights. So, we'll work from that. So, it is a meeting that's very tough, a few of these races. My lord, I struggled. But just thinking what I might do, I might try and pick out a relevant replay for each race, which by extension does drag these things out a little bit. Probably makes it about 3 minutes per race, so you're probably looking at about 25 to 30 minutes. But if you're looking for a particular race, just use rough maths, and like race 5 would be about 15 minutes in. Race 7 just over 20, so etc. So, we'll kick off with the first over 1200, and we've got 4. Actually, we've got dynamic odds here. So, race 1. You see, we've got 4 horses leading the market here. There's only 4 in single figures. I Am the Dude, Evil in Me, Ruby Cat, and Special Moment. And they all went round in the same race in Hobart sort of a couple of weeks ago, and that's usually a good thing because you can measure apples with apples, but there was only like a length between all 4 of them, and there was merit in virtually all of the runs. I've actually got tab open here. You can see I'm travelling well with the account balance. Might need to make a deposit. Actually, it's one of those silly punting things I do. I always withdraw money and finish up bank statements about 50 pages long with all the deposits, withdrawals over the course of a day, month, etc. So, but obviously this just a lot easier to do replays in. So I just click on I Am the Dude as he was in that race. So
moving in now, and we're set to go.
So this is 1100, so I've got an extra 100 metres tonight. So we'll just, actually this stupid thing here. So here's I Am the Dude, sort of, use trap 3 wide the duration. Evil in Me, on the inside here, led early, grabbed hold, took a sit. You got Ruby Cat back here, last on the inside. And the favourite was odds on actually in this race here. It was a special occasion, I think its name is. So if we look here, so On the Dude's been caught wide. They didn't go overly quickly, and a couple of these got left flat-footed a little bit. If you look at Evil in Me, sort of, you see On the Dude puts like 2 lengths on him, and once he gets roused up, he's strong late. Ruby Cat coming through late, and the favourite was another one who got left when they sprinted. So you got 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, they finished there. And as we pointed out, there's only about a length between them. If we have a look at the speed map, I'd imagine you've got some bolters drawn wide, like I'm a Lucky Girl, you generally go forward. But I'd imagine they're probably a bit more aggressive early with Evil in Me this time, after being sort of left flat-footed when they sprinted. So he comes into barrier 2 with the scratching, and Special Moment, it's barrier 1, so he's got a box seat. On the Dude's drawn wide again, and Ruby Cat sort of middle of the pack. So the one I'm leaning to, just if we look at the betting, probably Evil in Me. Barrier 2, it'll definitely cross the horse drawn 1, so even if it gets crossed by a bolter, it's still going to sort of the opportunity to come off and control the race, so making its own luck on speed. So that's the one. Like, I'm not brewing with the confidence. As I said, there's absolutely nothing between the Quartet virtually. Day Trader's the interesting one. First up for a couple of years, I think it is. In November 16, so a month away from 2 years off the scene. Trial was actually very good in Hobart. It wasn't scintillating time, but did on his ear, so looked to have a fair bit left. So, and obviously he's the one bringing different form into the race. So Jackson James also trialled pretty well. So you'd imagine one of those 6 horses wins the race. As I said, so just for us to tip a couple, I'd suggest Evelyn Me with a saver on Day Trader. So you get what, $10 the top one, and sort of $4, and so we're still sort of over 130%. So I reckon you'll get probably close to 5 Evelyn Me come the jump, even if I'd probably wait for Day Trader. Even if you have to take a lesser price, there is support. It's probably a good sign being first up for so long off the caper anyway. So we'll leave that one there. So race 2 is another terribly difficult race. You got Lesnar, who was ultra impressive when he won on debut last year. Had a long time off since, also trialled well at Longford. Chloe's King, been very good since coming to Tasmania actually. It actually won that race that we showed the replay of in race 1, so get a pretty good lead as to whether the form's held up. GG Mr. Paul's got form around some of the better 2-year-olds last year. Zubarina was good the other day. I think it was first start in the state from memory. I don't know. Sort of last prep, sort of won a couple, but first up, GG Queen Bee form, and breathtaking M's Gem going okay as well. Stablemate of the 2-horse Mag Wheels has trialled well, and Miss Smith's Barrier 2 probably the early leader, but obviously she doesn't win out of turn. So the one, as I said, I'm really struggling with this race. You can make a case for a number of them. If we look here, we are virtually $5 the field. I do think Lesnar would start favourite. Just a bit worried as to whether he might need a bit further, but he's definitely got the most ability of any horse in the race. But the one I'm going to have something on here is, you can see $13, Chloe's King, which, as I mentioned, we watched the replay of his previous win before, but we might just go and have a look at the latest run when he ran 4th. And it's got senior jockey on today with Anthony Darmanin. So here's here back on the inside. It has actually shown speed at Devonport, so that eased it sort of from gates there. Imagine they'd probably take a bit more forward position this time, but if we just watch it, hope this stupid thing here doesn't get in the way. You can see it here going up the inside and gets chopped out. You know, sort of grab hold of, and just watch its last 100 metres. It's actually very strongly. Yeah, no, I just think in a tough race, you see there, it got chopped out on the inside, and very strong through the line. So I just think at double figure odds in a very tough race, you could do far worse than have a small interest each way on race 2, number 2, Chloe's King. Race 3 is over the mile, and my lord, you can see here with another race that's sort of $5 the field. When the rain came yesterday, I was warming towards GG Black Prince a bit, but just with the track firming up a tad. Lord Derby's one, as he said, there's not much early speed in this race at all, so despite him trying the outside gate, I can see him sort of working over and controlling the race. and Tough Rubble won first up, but so Lord Derby was in did a bit of work early last time, boxed on okay. Another run under the belt, making its own luck on speed. Probably the safest play in the race. It's one here, Smooth Pebbles, actually in the Tough Rubble race one day. You can see Tough Rubble's $5 and Smooth Pebbles at 23. Has drawn out wide. You got the Bolter King on him in Shuji. So, see, Queensland form, you've been tested over longer, out to 2200. But first up in Tassie over 1400. It's actually pretty strong, mate. He's out sort of like 4 wide here and sort of grabs hold to go back in and get a slot. So you can see him sort of easing all the way back to second last. So despite drawing wide today, you can't see him getting much worse of a run in transit than that. You can see in Tough Rubble, there's box seating here. Leader's back. So you can see he pulls widest horse on straightening in the red cap here. And here's the Tough Rubble, who's like equal favourite at the moment. You're copying $23 this horse. Actually, this horse is $41 in the race as well, in the middle. Yeah, so you see he's just as strong on the line as the favourite, and favourite had plenty more favours. So, just in these type of races, if you're not keen on something, then generally go shopping for a bit of value. So, I think we could do a couple of bucks there. And I said Lord Derby's you know what you're going to get on speed, making its own luck. So, that's a couple there. So, as I said, I'm not overly confident early doors. The fourth, as I said yesterday when the rain came, I actually thought Trusted Warrior would be near a good thing. The one thing about this race, I still do like him to beat Balearic home, but I'm just a bit concerned, small fields. It'll probably be settling last of the quartet. But I still think that they definitely should be closer together in the market. So, forced to pick one in the race, Trusted Warrior, just because of the price differential. So, just leave that one there. Not too much to show. The fifth sees the return of Mandela Effect. He's a seriously good horse, him. Is a tricky little race. You've got the speed here with Apriano, GG Trendsetter, and the rest of them virtually all get back types. He's obviously not giving anything away with the price. Mandela Effect first up. I think you've got 2 kilo claims, so carrying $60, $40. I'm not potting the horse at all. He's really good. Emphasise that again. Not going to back against him. Apriano, he was good in sort of tougher grade last week in Launceston, and he carried 51, up to 58.5 this week. But can't, it does look like he's going to get his own way, find his own way to the front. Ballastran's going to get maps to get a good run. Obviously, logical speed map is GG Trendsetter. Apriano probably leads. Trendsetter pops outside. Ballastrand probably leaders back. So one here, Cheers Chappie, who generally runs okay first up at big odds. Might want to have a look at the trial of Mandela Effect, and Cheers Chappie was almost as good in the same race. Despite there only being 7 in it, the bet I'm warming to is having something a place on Cheers Chappie. This is, you're going to get better than that. It's just poison, that. You can see. What have they got here, sort of? So that'll be about 400% in the place market. So, yeah, no, that'll come back a bit. But we might just, so if we click on replays, it was Hobart Trials about a fortnight ago. It was trial 2, I think it was. Yeah, this is the one. Here's Cheese Chappie here, and Mandela Effect in the white colours. You see old Chappie's popped out to last. This is Go For It, I think it is, in front. Came out and won a race last week. Much weaker race, I must point out. Now you can see that Mandela Effect's just jogging, as so's Cheese Chappie. Now, and he's run a couple of big races at huge odds when he's first up. Well, his first up record's pretty average on face value. And you can see that he's finding the line very well. So, he's trialled well. I think we'll get close to $3 a drum at the jump. So, forced to recommend a bet, in a race with a $1.40 favourite. Just I think Cheese Chappie will run a bit of a race based on that trial. In the 6th, this is another tough race. He's Go For It here. The race he did win, GG Sun Valley. That was that race we showed. Actually, if we just go and have a look at the replay of the GG Sun Valley, had no luck at all. The one thing here is you can see that despite being beaten, it does meet Go For It worse at the weights, but here's box seating here. The blinkers on, leaders back. You can see here's Chloe's King here, but if we just, we already looked at this replay, but so GG Sun Valley is the one who goes back to the inside and gets held up. That was Chloe's King we pointed out earlier as well. So if Chloe's King runs well in race 2, then it's a good pointer for Sun Valley. The other one had a bit of support at long odds already in Astro Bell. As I pointed out, GG Sun Valley will be going forward. So barrier 1, it's been racing over 13.50 and hitting the line at Devonport. Back to 1200 here, but with barrier 1 it should settle close enough, and it's going to be strong on the line. Yeah, so what was the actual, what did Tabcorp open it? So you see he's been 17 into $8, just continually shorten. So I just think from barrier 1, you do this even at $8. Like sometimes you talk yourself out, I can't back it at $8 because I missed the best price, but sometimes they're still decent value. So couldn't imagine it shorting any further from there. So, but let's see, a couple of small win bets, horses drawn barriers 1 and 2 there in GG Sun Valley and Astro Bell. So the other one, like Dubbo trialled okay the other day as well. So in these even races, and I pointed out later in the night, I reckon the fence might be the place to be, and you've got the 3 horses there, drawn barriers 2, 3 and 1. So hopefully the fence isn't off by then. So the 7th is over the staying trip. Flash Missile, always had a bit of a soft spot for it, bolted in last time. Drawn second from the outside here, but you'd imagine Secret She Has is going to lead, so you can imagine them coming over together. So probably works over and sits outside. Did actually run very good sectionals late. Got away with Murder early last time. But you just see it was very strong on the line despite sort of stepping up in grade. You can just see like just controlling the race outside. The speed. Nose roll on here. And just goes bang. Now sectionals, last 800 sectionals were on a par with some of the 12 and 1400 metre races on the night. So there's a few here that have actually gone okay despite being beaten a fair margin, but it's going to be making its own luck again on speed. And as I mentioned before, you'd imagine that the on speed's going to be the place to be. Like Another Brother stuck to his guns pretty well. So yeah, but very hard to go past. Flash Missile, as I said, I'm not perturbed at all by the outside draw. I just think if you want to have something on a bolter, Another Brother, big odds here. You got beaten 16, so there's still a bit of merit in the performance there. So yep, so that'll do there. The 8th, GG, I'm going to say Lynette. GG Winnett led, got away with Blue Murder mid-race and kicked home to win. Invincible Rock's been backed and beaten a couple of times since arriving in Tassie, but my lord, this looks made to order. Imagine he just works over, sits outside GG Winnett, controls the tempo, and the greatness pre-lex, like the sectionals when he won last time, pretty average. So you'd imagine he's going to be giving them a start, and can't see too much mid-race pressure here either. So good things price probably is a good thing, but I've never been one to take those type of odds anyway. But definitely not tipping against it. And in the last, and this is very small field, tricky race. It's a Battle is one that he's a good tough horse. Definitely looking for longer than 1400. This was almost run like a 1400 metre race last time. So we'll just watch him. Drew barrier 2 on this occasion. So he gets hunted out of the gates to race Andy. So what I'm punting on is I'm hoping he actually leads John barrier 1 in this race. And so he's outside the leader. And they put the hammer down here. And he just can't go with them when the speed's on. Now he's definitely racing like a horse who needs 1600 minimum, despite this being 1400. But you see, it looks like he's going to sort of run, 5th or 6th here, starting to drop out. But let's switch the whip into the left hand to make him go straight. You can see he's very strong on the line. What I'm punting on here, as I said, barrier 1, he leads. Said, look, none of them are noted sort of leaders, so hopefully if Siggy shows her intentions early, the others won't push the issue. And whilst it definitely won't be pretty, he'll take no end. He'll probably look gone on the turn, but he'll just keep kicking. So I do actually like him in the last. I would imagine just with needing the extra trip, he probably ease a little bit. I did think Harry Man had eased in the last week as well, though. And he was off the map. Harry Man was first up on the off synthetic format was the only reason I thought he may drift. So I do actually like It's a Battle a bit, just from a speed map perspective. Tough races all night. Trying to find one at backable odds. I do like Flash Missile in the staying race. Getting around 6 to 4. I think they'd bet like $3 early. 280. So yeah, not, as I said, there's a number of tough races on the card. So ones that I won't be busting the bank on too many things. So we'll make the best bet Flash Missile in race 7 at around the 6-4 mark. I'll definitely be backing It's a Battle, but probably won't. I'll sort of be waiting till the death to back him and watching the track pattern from, hopefully, if I'm right, that the inside's the way to go late, where he's drawn might be the go. And as far as best value, I just think like Chloe's King, $13 each way in race 2. So anyway, guys, that's where we're at. So best again, race 7, number 4, Flash Missile. Race 9, number 4, It's a Battle, and race 2, number 2 at odds. And for the bolter, it was in race 3 down the bottom in Smooth Pebbles. So race 3, number 13. So anyway, I might just wrap it up there. Probably prattled on for too long anyway. So yeah, so it's just still a little bit tricky at the moment. It's still got a mixture of a lot of horses. Race, their form is mixed between coming off synthetic form and being first up from the trials. So, over the next couple of weeks, hopefully I can tip a few with a bit more conviction, as sitting on the fence helps nobody. But anyway, that's my 5 cents worth. So until next week, guys, we'll wrap it up and we'll chat to you then. Cheers.